If you're someone who likes to travel, chances are you've been where I am right now. No prizes for guessing though.
Yup, I'm in Manali, arguably the biggest tourist magnet of the Himalayas.
And if you think about it, there are very few places up here in the mountains that haven't slowly but surely been overrun by tourists, be it the previously inaccessible Lahore Spiti or the barren cold deserts of Ladakh. But today we are here to unlock a part of the Himalayas that so far remain hidden from the public eye, the breathtaking region of Zanskar.
And I'll be doing it in the GLA 220D 4MATIC. You see, the thing is, I've always wanted to explore these hidden roads through Zanskar. I mean, some of them are so hidden, in fact, they don't even show up on Google Maps. I've clearly never driven on it, and it is going to be a bit of a challenge. But will the baby Benz be up for it? Let's find out.
The route to Zanskar is undoubtedly pretty, but I was not expecting it to be exciting right from the point of entry.
I'm at the base of the infamous Shinkunla Pass, known to be one of the most arduous passes in the region. This is the gateway to Zanskar, and I can't wait to start exploring it.
The GLA is really coming into its own on the way up to Shinkula. At 16,580 feet, that's no small feat, especially given the numerous broken patches we've had to encounter along the way up. Right off the bat, the roads got tough with rocks, gravel and difficult terrain, but I was thankful for the ground clearance and off-road ability of the GLA. And mind you, this was only the beginning. For every smooth piece of asphalt, there would be a healthy dose of off-roading as well. It was a clear sign that this was going to put the GLA to the test. However, for everything the Zanskar roads threw at the GLA, there was no sign of fear or backing out. It was unfazed and focused on getting me to my first Zanskar gem. After finally descending into the elusive Zanskar valley, I really can't wait to get my eyes on the Ganbo Rangjon on my way to Pune. It's considered to be the holy mountain and referred to as God's mountain by the local inhabitants who practice Tibetan Buddhism. And oh my god, what a mystical sight. Day 2 started with immense excitement for another bucket list item. I'm in Pune, so no guesses needed. I'm heading towards the magical and remote Phuktar Monastery. As I begin my walk, I'm in two minds about the trek there after all the stories I've heard. But you don't come to Zanskar and not go and pay homage at Phuktar. The visuals and scenery is stunning, but you need to put in a fair bit of work to get there. Unfortunately, the road leading to the monastery is not fit for cars, so it's a long trek through crests and troughs, all while trying to maintain balance. That said, the true reward after that arduous walk is finally glimpsing on Phuktar for the first time. Built around a natural cave which is believed to have been visited by numerous sages, scholars and monks around 2500 years ago, the monastery sprouts from the cliff as though it is a part of it. Stunning is an understatement. They say it's more about the journey than the destination, and boy, when it comes to the Phuktar monastery, they are absolutely right. After soaking in the magnificence of the monastery, I trekked back and went in search of yet another bucket list location.
Well, that 6-hour trek from the Fukhtar monastery and back was, challenging would be an understatement. It was extremely difficult, but once I was up there, the views were absolutely stunning. And once you're up there, you also realize the historical significance it has on the culture and heritage of the region. Very, very important to the locals over here, and it is simply amazing. So if you're in the area, it definitely is a must visit. That said, I am very, very glad to be back in the GLA. And for the first time in the past 2 days, I am very happy that it is a 4matic, because the roads here are, well, just like the trek, extremely challenging, and they need 4-wheel drive. And the 4-wheel drive on this car is working quite well. Now we are heading to Padum. It's a small little town, not too far away, 3 hours. But if you can see on the screen, Google doesn't really believe that. It doesn't even have a road for me right now. And all I'm doing is following the signboards. Google right now honestly says 20 hours. But that's definitely not going to be it. 3 hours is what the locals are telling me, and I can't wait to explore some Padum as well.
As the GLA kicked up a dust storm navigating through roadworks and boulders, there was no shortage of excitement. The views more than made up for the hurdles. The paved and winding roads of Padum were the perfect excuse to ring the talkie engine and tug along the paddle shifters, making it a fun end to a tough day. Waking up to a crisp 9-degree Padum, the thin mountain air enveloping me, I'm going to take a few sights around before heading towards greener pastures. Zanskar is dotted with monasteries, but Karsha Gompa is just stunning, and if you don't believe me, take a look for yourself. History and culture are what tie the Zanskari people together, and you definitely feel that here. But I'm on my way to see something special, and I've found the perfect shortcut. Sure, the GLA is comfy on tarmac, but the compact footprint paired with all-wheel drive allows for a whole lot of fun, and of course I jumped at the chance to let it loose. However, Zanskar makes you work for his beauty. But thanks to the GLA's size, you can crawl over where not many cars can go. The Galwa Ringa, or in simpler terms, the rock statue of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, were hand carved in the 8th century and have stunning detail. It is exceptional how intricate the art is despite having limited resources. Well, with Padum in my rearview mirror, I am heading to the final location on my Zanskar bucket list, and I've saved the best for the last. Looking back over the last few days, I've really been pleasantly surprised with my GLA 220D 4matic because it has been the perfect companion to explore Zanskar. It's tough and it keeps going.
In fact, what really impressed me about the GLA is how adept it is through these roads, because bear in mind, Zanskar is not an easy place to drive. Sure, you have some very well paved road, well marked roads, but most of it is well uprooted. Roads construction is still on, is nowhere near completion, so it is quite a bit of a challenge, and the terrain is harsh to say the least. That said, the GLA has been really superb over these roads. And yes, the off-road mode does help. It plays with the traction control as well. You have that option to switch off the traction control and really get out of a sticky situation. What's also been really impressive is the ground clearance. Not once has it touched. And of course, then you have the tires. Now bear in mind, this is the AMG line, which means you get the sporty looking 5-spoke wheels, but you get chunky tires as well. Good amount of sidewall, and that is extremely helpful when you have really bumpy terrain. Comfort overall has been very good as well. And the overall drive, with this diesel engine, you have a good bundle of torque, and that is what helps you get that nice linear power delivery through the bends on these nice well-paved roads. It really is quite fun to drive. You also have paddle shifters if you want to up the engagement slightly. And of course, there are drive modes as well between comfort, eco, and there is also individual, which means you can configure the settings yourself, change the steering, change the engine response. So really a lot you can do, and honestly, it has been quite exciting to drive. The views out are obviously very good and quite stunning, but driving this car has been equally enjoyable.
With the GLA in its stride and Pencila in sight, Drangdrung would be just a matter of time. The best spot to view the glacier is the official viewpoint as I drove up towards Pencila Pass. As I parked up along the viewing gallery, nothing had prepared me for the sight. The second largest glacier after Siachen, Drangdrung is majestic in its own right. Wind speed is high and its sheer size is almost mind-numbing. This is what you call nirvana. Sure, the Himalayas have their fair share of tourist spots with Leh, Pangong and Nubra Valley, but if you want to transcend into another realm, nothing comes close to Zanskar.
The past few days in Zanskar have been an absolute roller coaster of a ride. From the tough and challenging trek on the way to the Phuktar monastery to the beautiful hand-carved stones from the 8th century AD, it has been beautiful. And now we are at the third and the final point of this trip. Behind me is the Drangdrung Glacier, the second largest glacier after Siachen. And well, in person, it is magnificent. It is definitely something you have to visit once and just soak in its beauty. However, what's also equally stunning and what has been a champion through the drive has been the Mercedes-Benz GLA. Because if you look at Zanskar, you think a terrain like this requires a tough, hardcore SUV that has been over-engineered, something that has been modified, big knobby tires, big suspension. But the GLA took everything on in its stride and did everything with no fuss, not even a single puncture. The diesel engine worked smoothly through the winding roads, the suspension soaked up everything, and of course you had the off-road modes guiding us everywhere we went along. So it really has been a stunning experience, but sadly every good thing must come to an end, and we are going to have to leave this absolute 3D postcard that is Zanskar. Take in what we have around us, soak in the beauty, and then drive on to Pencila Pass, leave Zanskar behind, but leave it with some stunning memories etched into our hearts.